Hello everyone, it's Sabrina Jean. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to this quick pick a card reading. So this pick a card reading should tell you what you need to know, especially for those of you who are wanting to move to another location or into a new home. Will you be moving soon? What more you need to know about your current situation, etc. So again, if you're not looking to move somewhere, then this may not be the pick a card reading for you. But if you are waiting to move, you're longing to move, but you haven't yet, and you're wondering why, then this is your pick a card reading. Okay, you have 4 different piles to choose from, or you can choose according to the crystal or the cover card. Pile number 1 is an angel or a quartz. Pile number 2 is a yellow calcite. Pile 3 is a green onyx. Pile 4 is a rose quartz. So choose the pile or the crystal that's getting your attention the most and find out what you need to know about when you're going to be moving. Pile 1. Hi, pile 1. Okay, if you drew this or you were drawn to the angel or quartz crystal, what do you need to know? When will you be moving? And honestly, I have been seeking the same. I'm currently in temporary housing, wanting to move somewhere else. So, I can totally understand, where you're coming from too. But let's see what you need to know. Okay. So there's 9 of Wands. 9. Oh, that's funny. 9 of Wands and then the Knight of Wands. Wow. The 3 of Wands. Look at all the wands. The World. Okay. So what I'm intuiting from this is that the reason why you haven't yet moved is because you're still working on yourself, or there's something you're still dealing with in your current situation. So if you believe that, life happens for a reason and that your experiences happen to, help you grow, sort of thing. The 9 of Wands to me says that you are you're nearing the end of a cycle where you've been learning more. Maybe you've been taking on more responsibility. Maybe you've been learning how to manage your emotions or to find balance in your life. Maybe you've been following your passion, right, with the Knight of Wands here. But there's definitely going to be another home for you. And honestly, for some weird reason, when I saw the 9, I was thinking of September. Now, September isn't really that far away. But then now I see the number 3, or the word 3, and I'm thinking for some of you it could be as soon as 3 months from now. So this World card could also be referring to the end of a cycle or a completion of, a life lesson, or you've been doing your self-work. Or maybe this is just something that you've been waiting for. Maybe you don't need all the details, like some of us do. Let's look at your other cards and see what more is going on here. Okay. So spiritual, yeah. The sacred temple. The path that you're on right now is a spiritual path. You've been growing or evolving. Again, learning your life lessons, which is why you are still waiting. Okay. And then even within the next month or so, you are finishing up the cycle. It's an accomplishment. Wow. Spiritual. It's a spiritual cycle, spiritual events. You've been growing, you've been evolving. Okay. Maybe some of you have been tested, learning what gratitude means for you, realizing, all the things that you are grateful for. and then family, people. If this is a spiritual thing, then this family card is saying that you've always had spirit guides or maybe even family members who are on the other side around you during this process. But so you're still finishing up the cycle, which is why you're still waiting to move. Wait, have it itch. Sorry, I didn't mean to itch on the screen. What more do we need to know? Okay. The sun. Libra. Interesting. Libra season starts at the end of September, which is within the next 3 months. Look at this. Your beliefs. What you value. What you believe. So you've been in the process of aligning with your higher self, realizing or choosing what it is that you prefer. But maybe you've been working on your financial situation, because this is what also needs to change for some of you, that because you need a certain financial stability before you can move. But it has been a journey of spiritual growth, which is why you've not yet moved. But I keep getting an indicator that within the next 3 months, it's very possible something significant is shifting in your life. And so it's very possible that an opportunity for you to move or relocate somewhere else may show up for you suddenly and unexpectedly over the next few months. But this is why you're still waiting. You're learning, you've been working on yourself, your higher self, your shadow self, gratitude, your spiritual purpose. And some of you have been learning how to become more responsible on your own, meaning alone. Maybe you've been separated from family, or maybe for some of you, you want to move away from family, but there's certain responsibilities that you need to start becoming responsible for yourself, if that makes sense. And I don't think this is something for you to take lightly, because I'm thinking when you move somewhere else, you're going to be moving out on your own, being your own soul support. And maybe some of you are, but this is just a general pick a card reading. But this is why you've been waiting to move. In the bigger picture, you've been working on yourself, your relationship with yourself. Your finances need to stabilize, but you've also been learning how to be grateful and thankful for what you do have now while you are finishing up this cycle, this phase of spiritual growth in your life. Okay, and so this is the best way that I can interpret these. So it seems it shouldn't be too much longer before you are able to move. And honestly, over the next few months, things should start picking up for you, and it will make it more evident that, when it is time for you to move, your spirit guides say that everything is going to be presented to you, giving you that opportunity to take that next step to move. So trust in the process of timing, because everything is still coming together for you. So, okay, I hope you enjoyed this pick a card reading. If you did, please do click the like button. You're always welcome to comment as well. If any of you would like to get more specific personal information through a reading, feel free to reach out to me. My links are down below. In the meantime, if you're drawn to another pile, do feel free to choose another pile too. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 2. If you chose the yellow calcite crystal, so will you be moving soon? What do you need to know about moving? And again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you're not looking to move, right? If you're not wanting to move, then you may not find this pick a card reading helpful. But let's find out what more do you need to know about moving to a new home, a new location. The Star, the King of Pentacles, Chariot, Six of Pentacles. Wait. Let me balance these on the screen. This one. Present power. So there's, let me just lay these out here. Change of events. Friends and guides and family. Angels of the Four Directions. Hidden motivation. To me, technically, group number 2. The reason why you haven't moved yet is because it's not time for you to move. There's something that's still changing in your life. Some of you might be healing from a health issue. But isn't quite time for you to move yet into another location because you're still in the process of reclaiming your power, your personal power, whether this is emotional or physical or mental. And so what I'm picking up here for group number 2 is that many of you, there's nothing wrong with wanting to move somewhere else because maybe you're just looking for a different environment, new scenery, or maybe you just no longer want to live where you're living right now. But this is saying there might be hidden motivations for why you're wanting to move. So like escapism, or, I totally understand no longer wanting to deal with the current environment, or especially if you're living with a roommate or other people that you're no longer getting along with very well. You're just wanting to escape the situation. You're wanting to be somewhere else. But your spirit guides are saying that you're still healing. It's not time yet. You're going through some sort of process of renewal. And there's still a change of events that needs to happen on your life and your path before you're going to be able to move. In fact, with the Six of Pentacles here, I would feel comfortable saying that at the current moment, you may not necessarily be earning enough money to be able to afford another location, especially if you're wanting to move out on your own. You're still managing your resources, and there's still things that are changing in the background scene of your life. And there's a lot of scary changes that are happening on the planet right now. In fact, I want to share with you something that I have personally experienced in my own pursuits of wanting to move somewhere else and ready to move somewhere else. And this might resonate with you too. I just don't want you to feel like you're alone in this situation. But over the last few years, I've been doing research thinking, okay, where would I want to live? I don't want to live where I'm living now. I want to be somewhere else. And as soon as I'll do research on a certain location, and what's crazy is that a lot of the places that I look up, the cost of rent has skyrocketed so much. And then it reminds me, it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm pretty blessed with the rent that I have where I'm living right now, although it's not my ideal situation, but it's definitely affordable for me. And so you might be experiencing the same thing. But what's interesting is that anytime I think, okay, maybe I want to move to Texas, and then, well, you may have seen what recently happened with the weather and the flooding in Texas, and that makes me re-question myself. It's like, okay, do I really want to move to Texas? Like, well, maybe I could move back to somewhere I lived before, but then there's always something else that I see that shows up on the internet, in the news, or things happening in the societies or in larger cities and stuff that make me thankful that I'm not living in a hugely populated city anymore. So this is what I'm feeling for group number 2, is that where you are at the moment is perfectly fine for whatever this is that you are navigating. You're going through a renewal, maybe a self-renewal, or you might still be healing, right? Again, from an illness. For some of you, you're working on yourselves, right? Your spiritual self, your purpose. Perhaps you're still on the path, you're reclaiming your personal power. And maybe it's just possible that your next home isn't available yet, which is why you're not able to move. Have you ever considered that? Usually, especially if you talk to your higher self or your spirit guides or the angels and you tell them, this is what I want to do, I am ready to go, and it's still not made available to you, then trust that your spiritual team and your spirit guides are on this. And as soon as you're in the perfect time and space and that next perfect location for you to move to, as soon as it's available, you're going to know. You're going to be the first one to know. And that's what I'm picking up on here for group number 2. So, do what you can with what you've got in the present moment. If you're still healing, do take advantage of this time or the location that you're in to improve, your health, your well-being, your mindset, your finances. There's something else that you're still working on. And maybe, again, some of you are still juggling your finances. But you might also notice where you're looking around, there might not be availability to move somewhere else. Or if there are availabilities, they probably want like $1 million a month for rent. So it kind of also keeps you stuck in the current situation. But do know that you're not alone, because there are many of us that are experiencing the same kind of, I want to call it anguish. But no, you're not alone in this experience. So, okay. While you're waiting, you're supposed to be working on your emotions, your sensitivities, your intuition. Cancer energy kind of resonates with the moon or mother. And so I feel like if you chose pile 2, you're supposed to be mastering your emotional sensitivities, aka triggers. Because once you master emotional triggers, then it doesn't really matter where you go or where you're living, because the situation is no longer going to trigger you and make you feel like you need to get away or that you want to escape. There's something more to be gained and something more to be learned from your current living situation. Okay. And Jupiter is showing up and saying that I think it's reminding you how blessed you are in your current situation, but this too shall pass. But if you connect with the planet Jupiter and you ask to receive blessings, or what more do you need to know about this current situation, because Jupiter is also the teacher. Jupiter can be a teacher, a trickster, or it can cause you to be the student. So in your current living environment, you're still learning what you need to learn as far as your life path and purpose is concerned. There's one more. Okay. Wow. So this third and final card says your destiny. So the next home that you're moving into is your destined. It's aligned with your destiny and your life path. Okay. So if you're still working through stuff, that's why it's not time yet to move. So you are on the path of becoming more successful in your life. And where you are going in life, especially when it comes to your career or your future or your midheaven, everything is aligning, okay, perfectly. So I want to share a little bit more here for group number 2, for those of you who are learning more about your astrology, not necessarily natal, but your current transits, because now these are saying that you're most likely going to move into your next home or your forever home, the one that you prefer, when Jupiter is transiting your 10th house in your personal astrology chart. It's also possible that it can happen when it is opposite your 10th house or opposite the midheaven. There are wonderful things that happen in your life, and this refers to a sense of timing, the timing of things happening in your life. So in fact, group 2, your spirit guides want you to know that they already know exactly where you're going to be moving to. Well, your higher self already knows where you're going to be moving to next. So in order to gain a sense of timing, well, now I'm looking at these again. So the number 4, okay, the number 4. So 44 is probably a significant synchronicity for you. Your angels, your healing spirits are helping you to reclaim your power, your self-confidence within. 44 is also a number protecting you. The angels are protecting you and your finances. Trust that you'll always have what you need to receive in your life. And of course, when it's time for you to move forward and move into another home, it's going to happen in the same timing with you in this new career or whatever this King of Pentacles represents for you. But you're still going through a process of renewal, maybe a transformation for some of you. Something may have happened in the past that you lost your sense of confidence or power within, and you're rebuilding your strength. You're putting yourself back together again, right? Kind of like Humpty Dumpty. Of course, this isn't everyone. This is just a general pick-a-card reading, right? But this is how we see the story. The more you work on yourself, the more you grow, evolve, heal. And you work on your emotional triggers, which will help you to claim emotional stability as well. It's going to align you with that perfect career path. And it's at this time in your life when you're going to be moving into that next. So there aren't any indicators here telling me exactly when you're going to be able to move into your next home. However, from personal experience, I do want to say to you, when it comes to your personal astrology transits, meaning your current transits, I have discovered in my past and studying my own astrology that I usually move most of the time throughout my entire life. When I move, I usually move during the month of June. Why is this? So this has something to do with the sun, your natal sun, Venus, and Mars in your personal astrology. Again, if these are having particular transits in your 4th house, your 6th house, or maybe your 10th house, these would be revealing to you the timeline as to when most likely you are going to be moving the next time. So I just gave you some fuel to feed your mind for those of you who are like studying your astrology transits. It does usually happen at a particular time. And actually, now that I'm looking at all of these and the yellow crystal with the yellow card and this power, it's making me think of your solar plexus, which is a chakra. So at the end of this process that you're going through, you're reclaiming your personal power and this confidence within yourself. This is the path that you're currently on. And once you have reclaimed this confidence within yourself, that's most likely when you're going to be moving next into another home. On your own, or, on your terms. It doesn't mean that you won't move between now and then, but it may not necessarily be that forever home that you're looking for yourself. And by the way, forever homes aren't just for pets. Forever homes are for people too. Anyway, but this is the reading that I have for you, group number 2. I hope this describes your situation, or it helps you understand, the process and the timing. Whenever you're wanting to get more information about your current situation, feel free to tune into your higher self or connect with your spirit guides to get more specific or learn more about your personal astrology and your transits. You can even request transit readings from, the internet too. So, but this is what I've got for you. It is out there somewhere. It's just a matter of time, waiting for you to level up into this status in your life. So I hope you enjoyed this video reading. If you did, please do click the like button. And you're always welcome to comment as well. So have a fantastic day, and I will see you all in another video. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 3. If you chose the green Onyx, okay, so let's find out if you will be moving soon. So if you're not necessarily looking to move anywhere else, then this might not be the pick a card reading for you. Just saying. But let's find out what you need to know about moving soon, or when you will be moving next. Pile number 3. Okay, there's 9 of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and the Moon. Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles. What I'm picking up here is like, what kind of home or environment you wish to be living in. You know that you are worthy of it and you are deserving of it. You know that it's just a matter of time, but what you don't know is like when or where it's at. So interesting. I wonder if I don't know if the moon has something to do with your moving or not. Let's look at your other cards. Which are these? Okay, so right now you might be feeling stuck. Or maybe you're bored. Okay, yeah, courage, you're ready to go. You're feeling stuck, you're ready to go. Look at all this energy, scattered, intentions, back and forth. And people, friends and colleagues. What are the numbers here? We've got the number 3, the number 5, sat 6, 1, 8. Wow. Honestly, what I'm picking up here is that group number 3, some of you are feeling restless or bored or stuck, and you're just wanting to move somewhere else. But for some others of you, Spirit is saying you keep going back and forth. Like one moment you might say, okay, I'm okay living where I'm living. And then there might be another moment that kind of rushes up on you and you feel like you're ready to move. And so you can't quite settle on what it is that you want to do. And so your mind or your intentions are going back and forth because I guess subconsciously, maybe many of you are just not really sure if moving to another location is what you really want to do. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with being uncertain. It just means that you're playing it safe, right? You're not willing to take, unexpected chances and, pursue something or move somewhere when you're not quite ready. But there's something more that is meant to be gained or learned from your current environment and where you're living right now, especially if you're feeling stuck. There's a reason why you're stuck or going back and forth. Okay, it really just kind of depends on how aware you are of why you're stuck. Why are you feeling stuck? Because if you're already free, if you have the freedom to do whatever you want, you have the freedom to go wherever you want, why is it exactly? Okay, so something is calling you deeper inside of yourself to really ask yourself, maybe it's your higher self, wanting you to recheck with yourself on a deeper level. What is it that you really want? I think that there's something that you feel more deeply, especially with the moon card here, that you haven't been connecting with. Okay, so there's something deeper here that is waiting for you to connect with that. It's like a longing. And that's why you haven't yet moved, because, well, the moon, your higher self, and probably your astrology are waiting for you to dig deeper. Yeah, there's something more waiting for you to discover within yourself. So it's like getting to know yourself, your intentions. Okay. Your beliefs. So what do you believe? Why do you believe that you need to move? And I'm going to put this here. Taurus energy has something to do with your resources, but also your beliefs. The fourth house. What makes you feel secure? That's what it is. Okay. Okay, so pile number 3. There's something deep within you that does not feel safe, and this might be one of the reasons why you want to move somewhere else. But on a deeper level, your inner self might just be wanting to move somewhere else because it thinks that it's going to be able to escape this deep, uncomfortable feeling that you are experiencing within yourself, your emotions. So I would feel confident in saying, if you chose group 3, it's very possible that you are experiencing or close to experiencing an astrology transit in your personal chart, which is the planet Pluto opposition your natal moon sign, because that calls you deeper into connecting with your emotional reasons or emotional purposes. That's not quite the word I'm looking for. Your emotional impulses. The fourth house also refers to your body or your values, what you believe. But what makes you feel secure? So if you chose pile 3 and you're wanting to move somewhere else, what these are saying so far is that the only reason why you're wanting to move right now is because you're not feeling emotionally supported in your current environment, or you're not feeling emotionally stable. Maybe you're currently not comfortable with yourself. Maybe you're not feeling safe with your own self, and that's something more for you to ask. It's like, oh, so are you comfortable spending time with yourself? Or it could just be the environment, right? Or the city or the location that you live. Or there might be something deeper within you that's saying, I know where I'm at right now, but I'd much rather just be somewhere else, anywhere else. But again, everything is calling you to go deeper within. Okay, emotional motivation. That's the term I was looking for a minute ago. What is the emotional motivation for you to want to move somewhere else? If where you're at right now is perfectly fine and it's stable, but there's still like the sense of the scattered, not really feeling like you belong. But then you might want to question yourself. Do you feel this way no matter where you live? You don't feel like you belong there, so you move, but you don't really belong there either, so you move. But you don't really feel like you belong. You don't really feel like you fit in. And so you move, or you want to move, or you look for change because there's a discomfort, there's a quiet discomfort deep within you emotionally. It's like no matter where you go, you don't really feel like you belong there. Oh my gosh. So how much is that resonating for you? What makes you feel secure deep inside? Because I feel like no matter where you go, you're always going to feel like you should be somewhere else because you don't really fit in. You don't really feel like you belong. Oh my gosh. And then lastly, there will be success. You will benefit from, meaning, so the North Node is a challenge in all of our astrology charts. But it's an opportunity to grow, to evolve, to learn more about the hidden motivations of things. It's also part of your life, your path, your purpose. Why you don't feel like you belong anywhere. You might also have some particular natal transits, right, in your birth chart astrology that cause you to feel like you don't belong. Or maybe you were born with a lot of fire energy and you always want to be on the go. You're always looking for change or opportunity. Or maybe you're always looking for something else, something more. So if you haven't already studied your natal astrology birth chart, I highly recommend that you do so. You can get these charts and interpretations for free on the internet. I would recommend Cafe Astrology because she's got a pretty cool website and it's pretty practical in its interpretation. But there's a reason, there's something deeper that is calling you home. Oh my gosh. Group 3, maybe you're thinking that this home that you're always searching for is another house in another location, maybe in another country or somewhere else. But what if this home where that is going to make you feel like you perfectly belong there and that you can finally rest and feel comfortable and safe and secure? What if that home is your physical body within yourself? What if that's something deep inside of you that is waiting for you to connect with it? You know, there's a saying, home is where the heart is. So are you connected to yours? So let's just go back to these other cards really quickly. Your intentions to go back and forth. Maybe you want to be around other people, but maybe other times you don't want to be around other people. And you're scattered, not sure what to decide. But you know you want to change or you want to go somewhere. Maybe you want to relocate. You know that there's something more. And even with the oracle cards here, this longing for another home has a lot to do with your astrology and your cycles, your transits, your life purpose. I'm thinking, in combination with these other cards, that home is where your heart is, and that maybe the ultimate challenge is to allow yourself to feel at home wherever you are on the planet. Just something to think about. But even these cards are saying that there is a future home for you. There is another home that is on your path. But it's just a matter of timing. Let me see if I can gain a sense of timing here with your cards. So we've got, well, the moon, okay. The first thing I'm picking up on is maybe to look to see where your progressed moon is in your astrology. Because the moon moves into, the different areas of your life. Every 2.5 years, it changes signs and it's in a different area of your life, meaning it's calling you deeper to feel more comfortable. And that's also what you're supposed to be nurturing or tending to. So you can also get a free progress chart on the internet. But I keep coming back to, wherever you are, you should be able to feel at home, especially if you don't really feel like you fit in any one particular location, or maybe you don't fit in with your family. Maybe you were meant to be a traveler. Maybe you're supposed to be living like a gypsy. Although there's nothing wrong with wanting to settle down in a forever home. But I feel like your cards are saying you're also here to experience and to enjoy and to participate in life, to try different things, maybe live in different locations. Because it's very possible that throughout your life and your choices and your experiences, each location or different location on the planet probably has something very specific to offer you that you can gain from. Again, maybe this is your destiny, your path and your purpose, to constantly be seeking. So are you a seeker? Are you looking for that perfect home? Are you looking for that perfect relationship, that perfect job? Are you aware of the fact that you're already perfect exactly as you are? So the moon cycles are indicating a significant event for you. But these cards aren't necessarily giving me an idea of timing or a timeline as to when you're going to move again. Or maybe the universe is just simply waiting for you to choose. Especially if you're going back and forth, right? If you can't make up your mind, where do you really want to go? Or do you really want to move? Or are you just going to be uncomfortable there too? Do you want to go through the bother of packing up and relocating only to keep experiencing the same thing? You're there for a while, but then your soul wants to move because your soul is longing for a change of scenery. I feel like the times in your life when you are supposed to move are in alignment with your life, your path, your purpose, and your cycles. But there is something else, there is something more, there is another home, because it's calling you. So it's just a matter of time before you move again. This Taurus card here is saying that maybe you're in the process of like reclaiming your resources, or maybe you're saving your money, or you're preparing to be able to afford moving. Some of you might be researching other locations and homes only to find that when you look it up, the cost of moving or the rent or to purchase a home has just simply skyrocketed, like out of your price bracket. And that in itself is a sign, that's not for you. So maybe it's okay to just stay where you are right now for the time being. Maybe, since this year, 2025, is a 9 universal year, maybe wait and let this year finish itself out, because things are ending, things are changing. Some things are being washed away by the flood. Some things are being crumbled down by the earthquakes. Some things are being destroyed by fire. Maybe it'll be helpful for you to, entertain the thought that you're okay where you're at this time. If it's perfectly adequate for right now. Because usually when it's time to move forward or to make any huge changes in life, it usually becomes readily available to us. So if you're supposed to be moving right now, then you would already know where you're going to go. You would already have enough. You see what I mean? So this is the best way I can interpret this. Like I feel like we're going around in circles, but in the bigger picture, I really do feel like you can allow yourself to, feel at home wherever you are. Maybe you don't want to move somewhere else and be stuck somewhere. Maybe you don't enjoy being stuck anywhere for a certain amount of time. Right? There's something deeper within you that's trying to get you to connect with it. A deeper knowing, perhaps. Or a deeper understanding, what makes you feel secure, what will make you feel secure, or is there really anything else out there that will make you feel secure or make you feel at home, or are you always going to feel, fragmented, like you're missing something? Something to think about. Pile number 3. I'm pretty sure there is another home for you because the North Node card wouldn't pop up. So we're just waiting for the perfect time, the perfect resources, the perfect home. But it's not telling me when. So this is your reading. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it brings maybe some more answers or confirmation for you about your current situation. So if you enjoyed this video, please do click the like button. You're always welcome to comment as well. I'm wishing you all a beautiful day, and I will see you again in another video. Bye for now. Hey there, pile number 4. If you chose the rose quartz crystal, will you be moving soon? So welcome to your pick a card reading for today. And for those of you, if you're not really looking to move somewhere else, then this probably is not the pick a card reading for you. Or maybe you're curious, and so if you want to stick around and watch, then that's cool too. So what do we need to know about moving? When will you be moving? Will you be moving soon? What more do you need to know about your current situation? Okay. 10 of Cups. King of Cups. Ace of Swords. And 10 of Swords. Interesting. 10 of Cups. King of Cups. Ace of Swords. 10 of Swords. Let me fix these. Deserving. Peaceful intentions. People. Intuition manifestation. And the healing light. So there's consciousness, intention, people, spiritual, spirit, healing. What I'm picking up on your pile is that I feel like you want to be somewhere else, but I feel like you want to get away from your current relationship or family or other people. So if you look at these bottom cards, it's like you want to be alone. Maybe you're ready to go into hermit mode. Maybe you need your space. So as far as your next home or when you will be moving, because honestly with these cards they're saying where you live right now is perfectly fine. You have enough. You're perfectly supported. But is it matching, what you thought that you wanted, or do you think that you need something else then? But your current environment is providing you everything that you need. So what I'm picking up here is that there is another home for you in the future, but I feel like it has something to do with your healing journey or your personal like manifestation. If you've been working on yourself, again, if you're doing self-improvement, or actually it's just a process of life, right? Maybe you've outgrown your relationship and you'd just much rather be somewhere else. And you're wanting to live on your own. Okay. So that home is out there, but it's going to show up at like a significant time in your life where you have gone through some sort of changes. It might be, well, I already mentioned something about healing. But healing can be a spiritual thing, like improving, expanding your consciousness. For some of you, it might be like a health situation that causes you to move. But yeah, again, these just keep affirming to me that you're perfectly fine where you're at. You don't need to move. But maybe you want to move, right? So thus the conundrum, right? So what more do we need to know? Okay, analyze your reasons, the healing power, and Virgo energy. Interesting. Oh, pay attention to the details. Right now you're doing what you must do. I feel like this home that you're going to be moving to in the future has something to do with the service that you have to provide to others. If you're an energy healer, let's just say, for example, or a life coach or something like that, you're still in the process of putting all these things together. So it's not the exact time or timing in your life for you to move, but it is meant to happen when and right now, I don't know if you are in the process of healing yourself, because you're still like learning how to put things together. There's something else that you're going to need to be doing as far as work is concerned and earning an income before you're going to be able to move. That's what I'm picking up here. Uranus. Okay. So, right. Unexpected changes. So this next move that happens in your life is going to happen completely unexpectedly. Oh, and check this out. The 6th house, so it has a full-time job. Serving others. So this is like a spiritual thing. When we talk about spiritual awakenings or using your gift or your passion to help other people, right? You have something within you that you want to help other people, but the kind of work that you're doing now isn't the kind of work that you are going to be staying in, because there is something more that you're learning right now, that you're learning to develop, which is going to be like the gateway opening up the pathway to a new career. So whatever this is right now, if you're dreaming to help people, but if you're not quite sure what that is or how this is, some of you might need to go to work for a healing institution or a hospital or, something like that while in the process. But some of you might be creating your own business practice. I feel like some of you are helpers. You're definitely energy healers, meaning you bring a healing energy into when you're around other people. And that's what I'm picking up on here as far as these cards are concerned. So this Ace of Swords is saying, so this next home of yours has already been, it's already been written. It's already intended for you. So it's just a matter of time while you are on your journey of healing. It's going to just naturally happen, and you're going to naturally align, manifest this next home, wherever this is, when the time is right. So it has something to do with you leveling up your consciousness and your gift, offering your gift, following your passion and your purpose to help other people. So I'm curious how many of you actually know what that is, right? If you have a passion and a purpose, there's something that you want to offer, if there's something that you want to help other people with, then you already kind of have an idea what it is that you want to do. But right now, where you're living is where you're supposed to be while you're still like sorting through the details and putting everything together and preparing for, well, your future job, your future purpose, your future career. And that's when, right, that's what these cards are saying to me. That's when you're going to end up moving into another location. It doesn't mean that it won't happen, before this. This is just a general pick a card reading. To get more specific information, I encourage you to look at your astrology to learn more about that, or transits. But I feel like when you take more control over your own natural ability to help other people, you can create the avenue, you can create the financial resources that you need that are going to allow you to move. So either you already know what this is and you know what to do, or maybe some of you are still trying to figure out, what your passion and your purpose is. So it's all about intention. That being said, so I have to add one more little tidbit here. For some of you, your spirit guides are wanting you to know that if you just simply sit in a meditation and you imagine yourself in the home or the location that you prefer to be living in, really that's all you need to do to align with your next home. And that's when you'll be moving sooner than what I was already describing here. But I think you guys already kind of get the idea of what I'm picking up on. You need to be confident in yourself, confident with your gift, your passion, your purpose. Know what you want to do to help society, to help humanity, or to help other people. And that's when you start taking these steps to create this plan of action or this business, this goal, this project of yours. And that's when everything is going to start aligning. For you to start creating this financial stability that will support you moving into your next home. At least that's how I'm picking up on these cards. So you might be picking up on something completely different, and that's perfectly fine, because that's just your intuition, your higher self talking to you. So you should trust that too. But this is what I'm getting for you, pile number 4, for your reading today about when you might be moving, or what you need to know right now while you're waiting to move. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do click the like button. You're always welcome to comment as well if you want to share your comments. In the meantime, I'm wishing you a wonderful day, and I will see you all again in another video. Bye for now.